Hi, I'm Dr. Jenna Bradley. I'm with Live Core Strong, and I have had 4 babies, and today I want to talk to you about things that you can do before you plan to have your baby. So I'm a planner, and I like to have things really organized, and when it comes to having a baby, which is a really big decision, I wanted to teach you some things that you could do to plan before you actually conceive. So this is something that you could watch with your spouse and talk about things that you want to get organized before you have your baby. So the first thing that I recommend for you to do is to start taking prenatal vitamins or folic acid. All right, so that's something you do even before having your baby. I recommend that you start drinking lots of water now. Just be really hydrated. Again, we're gonna get you healthy and ready to go before you get pregnant. Stop drinking alcohol. This is a time that you want to stop. If you happen to get pregnant by accident or you did not know that you were pregnant, you want to be completely done with drinking alcohol just in case. And along the same lines, you want to stop smoking. Just get all those bad habits completely done with in advance so that you're not scrambling while you're pregnant to try to quit. Try to reduce your caffeine intake. If you tend to drink coffee on a regular basis, or if you drink multiple cups a day, I recommend that you try to decrease the amount of caffeine that you have. Stop taking any kind of recreational drugs if you are. And you want to check with your doctor about any prescription drugs that you are taking to make sure that it's okay to continue taking those while you're trying to conceive. Start looking into an exercise routine that you're comfortable with. If you're already exercising, that's great. Keep going. Don't stop doing what you're doing. But if you are not exercising, I recommend starting now so you can see how your body tolerates the exercise before having a baby. It's recommended that if you start exercising when you're pregnant to not try a lot of new things. So try some new things now and see what you like before you actually get pregnant. Let's see what the next one is. Okay, you want to start getting into some healthy eating habits. So if you tend to eat fast food a lot or you're eating out a lot, I recommend getting used to eating some healthier foods. Look into some healthier dinner options for you. Starting now, again, is easier than starting in the middle of your pregnancy, because when you're pregnant, you might have some morning sickness or you might have some food aversion, which means that you are not tolerating the smell or the taste of certain foods. So I would start experimenting with some foods now. Avoid eating fish high in mercury. So there, I can link in the description different foods that are really high in mercury, but different fish products have high mercury content, so you want to avoid those. Maintain a healthy weight now so that you have some room to gain weight while you're pregnant. So a healthy weight gain during pregnancy is different for everybody, but it's typically between 20 and 30 pounds. So getting your weight under control now is definitely going to help you during your pregnancy. I recommend reading the book What to Expect Before You're Expecting, and that's by Heidi Murkoff. She has different books on different stages. So there is one that is before you conceive, and I recommend getting that book. That goes over everything. I read that and it was very helpful. And I can link that in the description as well. Get a physical exam from your doctor. I highly recommend a doctor examining you now to see if there's any other comorbidities, any other problems that you might be having that you need to get treated before you get pregnant, because sometimes it's difficult to treat conditions during pregnancy because you can't take some medications. So check now with your physician to see if you have any underlying conditions that you didn't know about. Discuss those conditions or any other conditions that you have. If you are, let's say you already have diabetes, with your doctor, discuss those kinds of conditions that you have and see how that's going to affect your pregnancy. So these visits that you have, if it's a physical or if you're seeing your OBGYN, they're called preconception visits and they're really common. So definitely make an appointment for that. Some people like to get genetic screening done. I did not do that, so that's just your preference, but that's something that you can look into if you feel like you need to get some genetic screening. And off track, not anything about genetics, but planning your money. I am a Dave Ramsey Financial Peace coordinator, and so I do really focus on money in my everyday lifestyle. So in terms of budgeting and organizing my money, so I recommend getting your money under order and in a budget before you have your baby, because obviously the baby's going to make some changes into your day-to-day financial expenses. All right, and then along the same lines of that is your career. Like, what are you going to do when you have your baby? Are you going to continue working? Are you going to be a stay-at-home mom? What is your spouse going to do? Are you going to work and he's going to stay home? So those are different things that you need to talk about and see what it's going to look like for you, for your career once the baby comes. And then also you want to talk to your boss and see what your boss is expecting from you. So just have those open discussions with everyone related to your career, and talk to your partner about how many kids you guys want. So I like talking about this early. I don't want to get, into our pregnancy and then have the discussion of, oh, how many are we going to have? So I'd rather have that discussion now before getting pregnant. Do you want just one? Do you want 3? Maybe you want more than that. It's just nice to get that question out in the open early. All right, and then with a new baby coming, usually people tend to move or renovate their homes or find some way to open up space for the baby. So start talking about what are your long-term plans for your future with children involved. And how about cars? Cars are always fun to talk about. Do you need a new car? Do you have enough space in the cars that you have right now? Will car seat fit? I can go on and on about car seats. We have changed cars many times with each kid. And again, we have 4 kids. So now we got a van, but you probably don't need a van right now if you're just having one. I recommend just figuring out if a car seat fits well in your car. Your car might be small. Maybe the driver's seat, there's not enough room for it to move back and the car seat bumps into it. Just start figuring those things out early on. Catch up on your sleep now, because you will be losing some sleep when you have your baby and even during pregnancy. So I would recommend, if you have time to catch up on your sleep, catch up on your sleep now. Do you have health insurance? I hope so. Please make sure you have health insurance before you get pregnant. It is just good to have. You're going to have a lot of doctor's appointments and you'll have a lot of benefits if you have health insurance. So make sure you have health insurance now. And do you have life insurance? That's something else that's really important to have. Life insurance is good because, let's say something tragic happened and you weren't around. It's just nice to have that security of life insurance, especially when a kid is involved in your life. Go to the dentist now. Again, you're going to the doctors and getting all those other checkups, but make sure you get a checkup for your teeth. Sometimes during pregnancy, it's hard to do dental exams. There's just some risk there. So get your dental exam out of the way. Make sure everything looks good before you get pregnant. Some people get a mental health screen. If you feel like your mental health is not 100% and you want to get a mental health screen, this is a good time to get that done. Postpartum depression is pretty common, and so it's just good to get everything out in the open before you get pregnant to see what your baseline is. Figure out your stress remedy. So having a baby, you could be, again, morning sickness, you could be stressed, a lot of changes going on, that postpartum depression. So you just don't know. So if there is something that you can figure out that really helps you to relieve stress, maybe it's just being in a bath, maybe it's reading a nice book, figure that out and have that as your go-to. So if you have a stressful moment during pregnancy, you know what to do. Try to prevent the spread of any kind of infections or diseases. So just get a really good cleaning routine and make sure that you try to prevent any kind of infections from spreading in your home. Alrighty, let's see. We're getting close to the end of our list here. All right, big one. If you're gonna be getting pregnant and if you're on birth control, you need to stop the birth control. So be sure to check with your doctor about how to stop your birth control, or if you need to go in for an exam. So make sure you get that in order. And also with birth control, sometimes it takes a very long time to get back onto a regular cycle afterwards. So sometimes you might need to get off birth control way in advance, even before you want to conceive. Figure out when you ovulate. So there's lots of different ovulation apps and trackers and thermometers that check for ovulation. There's a lot of different things. I have that in my blog posts on different ways you can track the way you're ovulating. So you need to make sure that you know your body and know when you're ovulating so that you can get pregnant faster. All right. Have you talked to your mom lately about how she did with her pregnancies and how she handled childbirth? It's nice to just, if you're comfortable, talk to your mom about how she tolerated pregnancy. What kind of symptoms did she have? Did she have any problems or complications? It's good to have that information because you could be similar. Get a sexual health checkup. So you're at the doctor's, you're getting all these other exams. Make sure that you're completely checked sexual health wise. Just get that checked and out of the way so you don't have to worry about that. And also get a cervical screen. So a pap smear or any kind of screen with your OBGYN if you want to make sure that you're healthy down there before you get pregnant. And make sure you have your MMR vaccine as well. And the last thing I recommend, this is the fun one, is to go on a baby moon with your spouse. So if you're thinking of having a baby soon, try to plan a nice vacation if you can, or a little getaway or something, just the two of you where you guys can enjoy your company before having a baby. If you have any other questions about getting pregnant or what you can do to plan before you conceive, definitely comment below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more.